Hey folks, this one comes courtesy of a person who has just finished school and they had gone back after a decade in graphic design and they want to move into research now, and that's why they went back to school. And I'm going to start off by saying that my comments are based on my personal reactions, and you might find hiring managers who are very different than me. You will find hiring managers who are very different from me. So figure out what feels authentic to you and use that advice. Don't just go willy-nilly because Sarah said so. And so what I'd say first is congratulations for going forward with the thing that connects you closer to the type of work that you want to be doing. And then I'll give you a bit of a warning, which is that you are probably the one who cares the most about this shift. And so rather than making this story and your hiring experience being your hero's journey about how you made this decision and went to school and made it happen, I would suggest that you almost downplay the going to school and that this is a big pivot. I would encourage you to think about communicating that this is just like a little bit of a titch instead of a big shift. Because hiring managers get really stressed about big shifts, but they're totally fine with people doing a little bit of a titch over to the side to do the thing that they really care about, especially if you've emphasized that like you're doing this thoughtfully and that this is a growth path for you. So what are the things that you have that somebody who's coming just out of school might not have? You have a knowledge of how product management and project management actually happens in the real world. You know how to work with teams. You know how to work with stakeholders to understand that what they're asking for isn't necessarily what they want, and when you showed them the results in your graphic design, they were like, I said it wrong, and you got better at asking questions in order to figure out what they really wanted from the beginning. You have a superpower, which is that you're good at graphic design now, and that is huge when you're trying to communicate research results. I wish I was better at graphic design, and it's certainly something that I look for in researchers is how can they tell stories, and if you can tell stories through your graphic design, that's awesome. Go for it. Tell people that from the rooftops. How do you talk about going back to school? You can talk about how you really wanted to have the foundations in place, that you wanted to fill any gaps, that that's all you need to go. You don't need to do a whole piece about how this is always what you wanted to do. You can make it more about this is what you realize that you always have been doing. Again, de-stress the hiring manager. Let them know that you're willing to put in the hard work and you know what you care about, but also that you have a lot of the skills already and you've been practicing them in your jobs previously. And best of luck. Always love people who are joining the research community.